Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, if you've ever started a YouTube channel for your business, or even just thought about it, you probably know the exact feeling we're diving into today. Picture this. It's 2 a.m., the house is completely quiet, and you're sitting there hitting refresh on your analytics for the 10th time. And what do you see? Double-digit views. Yikes. It's a very specific, lonely kind of reality when you put something out there into the world and you just hear absolutely nothing back. And that right there brings up that paralyzing little voice in every single business owner's head. What if nobody watches? Think of this early stage like a quiet, foggy, Monet-style morning pond. It's perfectly still. Honestly, it feels exactly like a ghost town. And here's the kicker. This is the exact moment where most business owners just throw in the towel. They quit way too early because they're terrified that nobody is paying attention to their content. But here's the truth. Low views in the beginning absolutely do not mean the platform is failing you. So we need a complete reframe right off the bat. Nobody is watching does not equal this isn't working. Having 0 views isn't a failure, guys. It's actually a highly valuable, highly protective, growing phase. I'm going to share why posting can still massively change your business, even when it feels like literally no one is paying attention yet. If you've been hesitating because that fear of low views is holding you back, this explainer is going to help you see the bigger picture. We're going to walk through the hidden benefits that start building long before the subscribers, the views, or the leads ever show up. Let's put this time investment into some real perspective. Compare the so-called ghost town phase to getting a traditional college degree. People will happily spend 4 to 6 years of their lives full-time and go tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars into massive debt. And for what, right? On average, a bachelor's degree gives you a 40 to 80% income bump. Now, let's look at the other side of the table, the ghost town phase. It requires maybe a few hours a week for 6 to 12 months, it costs virtually nothing, and the potential upside is huge. It can genuinely 10x your business. You get more clients, you can charge more for your services, and you can easily add scalable offers. So frame the time you spend getting 0 views as your tuition. You're paying in hours, not in crippling debt, for an astronomically higher return on investment. Plus, making successful content requires you to learn a whole lot of skills all at once. We're talking scripting, lighting, camera presence, figuring out titles, designing thumbnails, the whole shebang. Imagine you've never played the piano before in your life, and someone just shoves you onto the stage at Carnegie Hall in front of 5,000 expectant people on day 1. I mean, that is a literal nightmare. The low views you get in the beginning actually protect you. They're your temporary shelter. They give you a private studio to practice, to be bad, and to just fail in private while you figure out what the heck you're doing. So let's look at what's actively happening during this quiet time. The first hidden benefit is forced clarity and actually picking a lane. This is where the visual landscape of your business really starts to clear up. You see, most businesses never think hard about their niche. They're broad and vague generalists, and they totally get away with it because nobody pushes them. But the algorithm, it demands clarity. If you try to make content for everyone, you're going to catch on with no one. The algorithm literally forces you to sit down and figure out exactly who you help and what your specific thing is. It elevates you from a generalist to a highly specific, clear specialist. And remember, specialists are always more in demand and they can charge significantly more. You want to ignore signing up for the quick sales pitch and just focus on producing content that genuinely helps people with your specific expertise. Moving right along to the second hidden benefit, your videos become immediate sales tools. Now, this is an incredible secret. You can use your 0-view videos actively right now before they ever get a single drop of organic traction. Check out this real-world data from a Bay Area gym owner named Jay Hale. On paper, his channel looked like a total ghost town. He had very few views, mostly from people way outside his local area. But Jay was incredibly smart about this. When a prospect booked a sales call, he'd look through his low-view videos, find an interview with a client matching that exact prospect's age and goals, and he'd just email it to them before they ever even spoke. Look at the after-video stats. His sales calls absolutely plummeted from over 45 minutes down to just 15 minutes, and his close rate, it skyrocketed from around 20% to a whopping 50%. Prospects were literally showing up to the call saying, "Hey, I was going to sign up no matter what you said." That is a massive business win, and it was done using videos that technically had quote-unquote no views. That brings us to our third hidden benefit, which is what we call the charisma reps and building camera confidence. Every single time you hit record, you're essentially getting your reps in for persuasion. You're building a muscle that you probably don't even realize is growing. Fighting through those stiff, uncertain, and honestly kind of uncomfortable early videos eventually builds this amazing, engaging comfort in your own skin. And look at where this camera charisma actually pays off. It completely transforms how you communicate everywhere else in your life. You become so much more clear and engaging on your sales calls, in client meetings, on your standard day-to-day Zoom calls at speaking gigs, and even on podcast interviews. You're learning how to really hold someone's attention, and that skill just bleeds right into everything you do. Next up is the fourth hidden benefit, mastering AI through practical application. Running a channel naturally forces you to become legitimately good at artificial intelligence, which is a skill you absolutely need to survive the next decade. You don't need to go take some theoretical weekend workshop to learn AI. Running your channel gives you hands-on iterative practice because you actually need it to work for your business right now. You start using AI as a brainstorming partner for fresh ideas. You use it as a writing assistant to tighten up your scripts. You dive into visual AI creation to make your thumbnails pop without having to hire a designer for every single little graphic. This saves you some serious money and makes you incredibly proficient at prompting AI in real-world scenarios. And finally, we have our fifth hidden benefit, which is building your strategist muscle by learning to read the room. This whole process turns you into a highly analytical business owner who starts seeing marketing as a genuinely fun puzzle to solve. You learn to look at the data, you double down on what hits, and you step away from what flops. You're going to find yourself tweaking your channel strategy in the shower or while you're out walking the dog. And honestly, isn't that just a much more productive, joyful brain space to be in than dwelling on the news or random internet drama? This continuous strategic thinking makes you a sharper, better marketer across your entire business. So let's take a look at the grand timeline of this whole journey. You start in the quiet ghost town. You put your head down, you ignore that immediate pressure to just make a quick sale, and you do the real skill building by producing content that genuinely helps people. This leads to finding absolute clarity in your messaging. And then we reach the climax. That foggy visual landscape we talked about earlier finally bursts into a fully bloomed, sunlit Monet garden. Because one day a video magically breaks through. And it might not even be 1 million views. Sometimes just 1,000 views is all it takes. It's the video that finally hits. And when that happens, we reach a massive tipping point. This is absolutely crucial. Your back catalog isn't dead weight, it is inventory. When that one video hits, people love it and the algorithm notices. And what does it do? It instantly starts pushing your older, low-view videos to all those brand new fans. All of a sudden, the videos you thought were a total waste of time are getting massive traffic. All your past work becomes instantly profitable. It was really just sitting there on the shelf the whole time, waiting for the demand to finally arrive. Which leaves us with this final powerful question. When demand finally arrives, what will your inventory look like? If you quit during the ghost town phase, your shelves are just going to be empty. But if you see this quiet phase as your greatest opportunity to learn, to grow, and to just produce content that helps people, you'll have built an empire in private. So, will you be ready when the spotlight hits? Keep building that inventory, and I'll see you in the next explainer.